welcome eMotionRx.
Hello everybody, my name is Phil Kongtcheu and I'm the founder and CEO of eMotionRx. We are a medical device company specialized on physical rehabilitation. The reason I'm here is that twice in my life I was paralyzed from the waist down. The first time was at 6 months of age from vaccine-induced polio. The second time was in 2011. In May 2011, I ended up spending nearly 3 years in a nursing home, staring at the ceiling at night, wondering whether I will walk again. Today I can walk and I even ski. While doing all this, while I was staring at the ceiling at night during these years, I ended up writing all kinds of stuff that led me to go back to school at Harvard, doing creative writing. And also, one thing that I did is I ended up developing really by living among people who have been really feeble, paralyzed for this period of time. I developed really a theory of how a person gets themselves to degenerate or upgrade their capabilities. In my case, it took me 5 years to really get myself there. And the lessons that I built around those things is some of the things that I want to share with you. I've translated that experience into a number of devices, and I want to show some of them to you a little bit. If this will work. I started eMotionRx to make the rehabilitation journey easier for people with mobility issues. We ground our devices development approach in the power of 3 fundamental principles of rehabilitation, which we call axioms. First, the use it or lose it action. Illustration, our standing chair, the feel good. The feel good, we have reinvented the concept of the standing chair, allowing anyone to feel supported and comfortable while standing. Now, anyone can use their legs and avoid losing strength from disuse. Second, the mirroring action. All our devices provide users with feedback on their posture and performance, allowing them to improve their behavior over time. Our smart insoles relay how much weight an individual places on each leg to indicate how they can correct their stride. Third, the axiom of compensation. That's how we harness the strength of a stronger part of the body to compensate for and rehabilitate a weaker part of the body. Our self-powered exoskeletons harness the strength from a strong user's upper body to boost the movement of their legs. Each of our devices is a part of a laddered rehabilitation process that stimulates and empowers our users to improve their mobility with their own energy and efforts. There are over 1 billion people in the world living with some form of disability. And as we age, we all lose our physical strength and become more disabled. So let's work together beyond seas to see the world we see happen. Thank you. So it looks like the video that was part of this was changed by somebody. I'm not sure how, but there was a little bit more context of information here. The concept of the standing chair that we built here we won our first prize at the MIT Assistive Technology Competition this year. It is, it's not very well seen there, but it has some unique features so that we were seeing the standing desk here. It's meant to be for a person who is already fairly capable. The desk that we built, and we've tried to make it an inclusive desk so that anybody can use it, but in particular a person, for example, who is coming on a wheelchair can go right in and stand up and be able to be secure and really work. It's a really important issue. I cannot say, well, for you it means a limited amount of inconvenience for people who are sitting on a wheelchair. It really, and in a nursing home, it costs extraordinary amount of money to the system and really to the quality of life. So this was part of it. I just wanted to add that quickly. Thank you. Now I'll take some questions. Yes, please.
So the device, the walking device, do you have any video of that to see it in motion?
The walking, which one?
Didn't you have a second device in there? Or was
the device, the smart insole and smart braces. Yes, we are working prototype of that.
Everyone when you use it.
So, yes, we are a working prototype of that, and the purpose here is it's many of the devices that we have separated it in 3 different categories. The smart insole can go. The smart insole, for example, can go with the standing chair. There was a question earlier asking how do you collect some data here. Here in this context, it can be used to collect data for the person themselves that is using the standing chair, but also for you can use it. It can be inserted in your shoes, and it will give you information in how much weight you're putting, how you put your stride, the quality of your stride, to help address issues, for example, of knee injury, potential knee injuries. I don't know if it goes to what you were trying to say.
I thought the braces helped you to walk. Is that not?
No, what helps you to walk is the exoskeleton. The exoskeleton that helps you to walk. The braces is here primarily as an instrument to give you first and foremost information on how you're doing, how much you weigh. It goes from the device into your smartphone, into a database, and that correct all that information in the cloud, and then you can we do analytics on it.
Right, but do you have video of the exoskeleton or something people can see, or no?
The exoskeleton here, we have video, but I didn't show it here. Today I didn't show. I show just a CAD of it. We showed this a CAD of it. What we showed is we at liberty to show is what we were able to show at the contest at MIT. Some of it is a little bit still proprietary. Yes, please.
I've read a lot about ReWalk. How is your exoskeleton different from ReWalk, and what features does it have that's better than ReWalk, or different, or focusing on some other issue of disability?
That's a really great question.
Repeat, please.
Yes?
Repeat it, please.
Yes, she asked you, how is our exoskeleton approach, the development approach, different from what a company that is a little bit well known here around the exoskeleton doing? And the first thing is, I actually started working on this issue as original tester of ReWalk. One of the biggest issues that they have, there are 2 things. First is the cost is really beyond what any insurance can pay, right? And they've tried to work with the VA and stuff. But the biggest issue is actually in terms of value. Our approach is all of these exoskeletons really use an external source of power to power the exoskeleton. That means putting an external source of power, you host it on a battery, but the battery on the body adds weight. The more you add weight, the more you need power. And the more you need power, the more you need weight, and the equation worsens over time. Unlike, for example, in computer power, the growth of capabilities in batteries has not been exponential, right? It's more like logarithmic in nature. So this is one of the biggest difference between what rework does and what we're doing. We're focusing on rehabilitation. And by focusing on rehabilitation, we force the person to move themselves, to use their own energy, to power where it is. That's what I was illustrating here, what I call the axiom of compensation. For example, how I learned myself to walk is that because I was paralyzed, but I had a stronger upper arm. And the design that we have is that as you move yourself to move forward, you can harness part of that energy to help supplement where it is weaker. So this is really a critical aspect of what we have. First, to be rehabilitative. Two, by having that no need for external source of power, you have something that is much less bulky and help the person over time become stronger. So we have this, I mean, as I mentioned in the presentation, it's an incremental process of rehabilitation of the person that mirrors in many aspects how I went myself to get to work. Thank you.
Thank you.